Hello everybody, it's Dana Sullivan, the Stampin' Chick, here with day 4 of the 13 days of Halloween treats. How are you today, my friends? I hope you're doing well. This is Wednesday, October 4th, and like I said, this is day 4 of the tricks, 13 days of Halloween treats, tricks and treats. And I'm going to show you how to make this super cute little treat box. I found a 3-pack of cotton candy, and I think I found it at the Dollar Tree, but it could have been Walmart, so one or the other. Most of the candies that you'll be seeing, or most of the treats in general, that you'll be seeing in my projects are either from Walmart, Target, or Dollar Tree, almost exclusively. So I was able to find some really fun things at those places. So I have these little packages of cotton candy, and I made this bag to hold them so it fits perfectly, which I absolutely love. And I am, again, using the Tricks and Treats Stampin' Die Bundle. Now, I don't want you to get bored with me. The only reason why I'm showing you so many projects with this bundle is because there are so many fun things that we can do with it. So I like to show you a great variety of projects so that you know you can get your money's worth when it comes to purchasing the stamps and dies, right? So this one is especially awesome because it includes the bag to make this bag, or it includes the die to make the bag. That's what I mean. So you need 2 of these cut to make one bag. And then, as you can see, this one has a little paper bag edge on it. That is this deal right here. Now, I'm going to give you a sneak peek look at another bag that I made. This one is actually for my Halloween Tricks and Treats class that I'm doing online with my friend Kristen from Canada. And you can see that I did this one totally different than I did this one. So there's lots of options, even for the Halloween theme. There are lots of different options that you can do with this bag. All right. So let's go ahead and get started on this treat bag. Here's what you're going to need. Of course, you'll need the Tricks and Treats Stampin' Die Bundle. You'll need to cut out 2 of those bag panels, and then I stamped and embossed the haunted house on basic white cardstock, and I went ahead and pre-did that because I feel like most of you probably know how to do heat embossing, but if you don't, then you can search my channel for heat embossing and you will find some techniques and different projects showing you how to use it, okay? So don't worry, you can find how to make it on my channel. So I have gone ahead and heat embossed the haunted house on basic white cardstock. So you'll need to do that, and then it's die cut using the dies from the set. And then I'm also using the Trick or Treat stamp and Memento black ink to do the sentiment here. So I'll have that set aside. I have my 2 bag pieces. And then I have a 1.5 inch, actually 2 1.5 inch strips of the Brights Designer Series paper. This is the 6x6 Designer Series paper that has a sampling of each color in the Brights collection. And I had a 6x6 inch piece of paper, and I cut 2 strips at 1.5 inch, and then I cut one of those strips in half. So if you want to make this one just how I've made it, you're going to have 1 whole strip of 1.5 by 6, and then a strip of 1.5 by 3. Now, we had to do that because 6 isn't quite enough to go all the way around our belly band here. and we really wanted to make sure that we could go all the way around, so we have a second little piece here to fill in the blank. Alright, so you need that. I have just a scrap here for my trick or treat, and believe it or not, that fits on this. Isn't it amazing? And then I have a decorative circle punch out of basic white cardstock. This is for our label back here. I have 2 lengths of ribbon. Now this is, I think, 13 inches, 12 inches. It's 12 inches. And this is the white glittered organdy. You can find this in the online exclusives section of my website. And then this is the black and white 1/4 inch gingham ribbon from the annual catalog, not the one from the holiday catalog. So we know already the holiday catalog is the one that's a little bit wider, and it's vanilla, not white. Okay, so we have those 2 pieces. Now we're going to do something fun with these. As you can see here on my bow, these 2 pieces make that. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do that. But first things first, I'm going to go ahead and stamp my sentiment. So let me set this stuff aside. I'm going to grab my Pierce mat because we're using photopolymer stamps. I've got Memento ink, and I'm going to tap, 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 not smush, smush, smush. And then I am going to stamp that right like that. And see, it fits. Alright, now we have all of the stamping done. We can do some assembly work. So we'll go ahead and burnish all of our score lines on our bag. When you're doing boxes and bags, 3D projects, it's really important to give them a good burnish because that's what squares everything up and makes it look crisp and clean. Okay? You don't want kind of soft and squishy sided boxes. You want good crisp edge boxes. Okay, so we'll do that. And then our next one. There we go. And we don't want to forget that little flap. Alright, now we got it. Let's go ahead and assemble this part of our bag. I'm going to take my multi-purpose liquid glue. You can use tear and tape if you like. And we're lining it up with the seam here. So you've got this line and this line. That's what you want to line it up with because those little ridges can be a bit deceiving. Okay. And just make sure that we've got that lined up appropriately. There we go. There. Alright, that's good. Okay. And then again on this side, okay. Hey, Luann, how's it going, darling? Okay, now because this is a 4-sided box, you're able to fold it over and then join the other side up. So it makes it a lot easier to assemble that side of the box because you're able to do that. Okay, there we go. And then we'll bring that, turn it the other way and fold it flat again. And turn and fold. There we go. Okay, now we've got our box. It feels just a little off kilter there. There we go. There. Alright, now we got it. Okay. Now then, we're going to attach these 2 pieces. We're going to put just a little bit of glue right here along this edge. and then a little bit of glue along the back side of this piece, just to make sure that our seam sits together nicely, okay? Hi, Miss Debbie, how's it going? All right, now then, line that up, and we're not going to worry about the dots because honestly, if somebody is looking that closely, they need to get something else to do with themselves. Yes, you can kind of see where it doesn't exactly line up, but we're not going to worry about that because it's beautiful just like it is. Okay, that is my word. All right. Now then, we want to find the front of our box, and with this particular box it doesn't really matter because we have a seam here and we have a seam here from the way that the box is built. So basically it's just up to you to decide which one you think is the front and which one is the back. So just pick whichever one you like best and then put a little adhesive along Put a little adhesive along the tab, and don't go all the way up because these are cut at angles. Hi, Melissa. These are cut at angles, so if you glue all the way to the edge, it's going to show. Okay, so don't do that. Just put a little glue on the tabs there at the end, and then put a little bit of glue on this end and on this end. These are facing, so this is the top of the back side and that's the bottom of the front side, and that way when you glue it down it sits beautifully. Now sit it down on the table, make sure it's lined up straight before you start burnishing everything down, because the wonderful thing about the multi-purpose liquid glue is that you're able to maneuver it around for a few seconds, but if you start burnishing everything down, then the glue says, oh, you're done. Let me lock it down. All right, there we go. So then you can see here how the box doesn't really go all the way to the edges, which is exactly why we put a little glue on the inside of this flap at the edge and on the outside of the other flap at the edge, so that it would seal it down nicely, but you won't have any glue seeping out of the edges. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Now then, we're going to work on this, and because we are going to have two seams, I am going to tell you it's entirely up to you how you want to do this. I am going to hide one of the seams with my front section here, so I'm not even going to worry about that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line it up right about where I want it to go. And we don't burnish these lines, or like we don't score these lines. We burnish them on the box, but we don't score them because inevitably, if you score these lines, you don't realize that there are two sides to every line, and you will end up with just a little shortage right here. Whereas if you burnish it this way, you will get a perfect fit, and you won't have to worry about it. So we're going to do this, and then we'll bring this in so that it lines up. Okay, just like so. I'm going to hold on to that, bring it in, and give it a good burnish. Here, here, and I'm just pinching the corners together so that they line up. Here, and here. Okay, now that I have that done, I'm gluing this bugger down because I don't want it to go anywhere. So I'll add a little bit of glue all the way along the middle. You don't have to go all the way to the ends on the top and the bottom because this is just to keep it from slipping and sliding around. Alright, there's my front. So let me bring that forward again, line up where I want that to go, right about there. All right, now then, fold, fold, bring it around, meet up with the edge, just like so. Okay, now like I said, you've got a couple of seconds with that multi-purpose liquid glue to start lining things up how you want it before you give it a burnish. So make sure you do that before you start burnishing things down. So now you have your belly band just like that. Okay. Now then, we'll take our, this piece, the decorative circle punched piece, and I want to add some dimensionals. Wonderful thing about 3D treat holders is that you can put as many layers of dimension as you want, and you don't have to worry about it fitting into an envelope. So I take full advantage of that, and I really do go crazy on the dimensionals when it comes to 3D projects. I absolutely love it. Alright, there we go. And then just like that, super cute. Okay, and then I'll take the haunted house, and I'm going to put it on dimensionals as well. Okay, here, and listen, hold on. I want to spread them out a little bit more. There, and come on. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now then. All right. And one more. I learned something about heat embossing with our glow-in-the-dark paper. I don't have it here with me to show you. I have misplaced it in all the chaos that is prep and preparation for classes. But I was working on a project, and I wanted to use glow-in-the-dark paper for the background of the haunted house, because in my mind I was thinking that the house is black and the glow-in-the-dark would show through like it was glowing through the windows, right? And it would be really, really cool. Well, I found out that the glow-in-the-dark paper doesn't actually absorb the ink the way that our regular cardstock does. So what happened is that it smeared right away. And I stamped it again and left it overnight, and the next day it still smeared, which is crazy because, as you know from our regular cardstocks and inks, it dries pretty quick, right? And so I had to make a new plan, and I ended up doing Versamark with black embossing powder on the glow-in-the-dark paper, and that worked like a dream. It worked perfectly. So I had my black house like I wanted, and the glow-in-the-dark showed through. It was amazing. So if you happen to have some of that glow-in-the-dark paper and you would like to have a haunted house that glows, make sure that you heat emboss the haunted house with black powder and Versamark instead of black ink. You're welcome. All right, now I'm going to take my trick or treat here, and I'm just cutting it pretty close. I mean, it doesn't have to be exact, but you want it to be pretty close, okay? We're just going to cut these apart, and then we'll put them onto the bag with dimensionals, just like we've done the other stuff. We are going to layer a couple of layers of dimensionals though, because we've got 2 layers of dimension here right now, and I really want the trick or treat to pop up easily as much as the haunted house. So you can see that the trick or treat, it's up as high as the house is, and we really want that. We don't want it to be hiding out in the background. We really want it to be in the foreground of things, like, hello, trick or treat. And I can hear my little brother in the back of my mind yelling, smell my feet. There we go. Okay, trick or treat. Get these scraps out of the way. Now, I have them over here because I was using them on projects, but I'm going to bring in my black dimensionals. One of the things that I love about these, and they're in the annual catalog, is that you can use these on darker projects, darker papers and things like that, so that you don't see the white behind them. But also, one of the things that I really love about them is that they come with the big ones and the small ones. Excuse me. They come with the big ones and the small ones in the same package. So I absolutely love that, because in this particular case, I can use the big ones here, but I need a small one for that. So I will take my small one here, and I am layering it up a couple of times. So I'm going to peel the backing off and do it again. And yes, you definitely want to peel the backing off between layers, because if you don't, then one side is going to come unstuck at some point, and just the littlest bump can cause it to pop right off, okay, because you're literally pulling the backing off of one side. The other side will stay stuck to the backing, because that side of the backing isn't, you know, you can't stick that side to the backing because it won't come off. If you've ever accidentally flipped a dimensional and tried to put the backing back on it and put it on the other way, you understand what I'm saying. This is more of a glossy finish, so it resists the sticky. That's what I'm trying to say. And this side is a duller side. So the one side will actually hang on to the dimensional for dear life, but the other side will pop off at the breath of the wind. Okay, now I'm just causing chaos here. There we go. Now you really want your dimensionals to kind of be at least relatively close to layered directly on top of each other, and that's just because you don't want your piece to go wonky, and you don't want it to scrunch down and attach to another layer, because there would be adhesive showing, and you don't want that. So we're just trying to line them up best we can. Doesn't have to be exactly exact, but it needs to be pretty close. Okay, so 2 there, and then 2 here. Okay. There we go. And one more set here. This is such a cute little treat bag. You can make these up pretty quick too. I mean, it's really not super difficult, and it's a lot of fun. I actually, I really hope that they're going to carry this over to the annual catalog. I don't know that they ever have carried over a Halloween set, but I love this die. So I really want to make some Valentine bags, and you know, I can make some Christmas bags now because, you know, it'll still be current in the holiday catalog, but I want to be able to make some Valentine's ones and Mother's Day ones, and oh yeah, I meant to only put one dimensional on that. So what I'm talking about is I overlapped it here. So actually I'm going to do, let's see, I am going to see if I can pull this off. Maybe I can't. Well, I hate to sacrifice dimensionals, but there we go. I only needed one on that side because this is already popped up on a dimensional. So I actually only needed one. Get off me. I only needed one on that side and 2 on the other so that it would stay balanced height-wise. Okay, I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to overlap this. So this dimensional is going to put on this that's already up on dimensionals. And then since this side isn't on dimensionals at all, it will balance out the height so that it's even. Okay. Alright, and then this little tiny oar. Okay. And a trick. All right, and right about there. That looks good. Okay, now I need to get my little glow-in-the-dark bits. If you guys missed out on these, I am so sorry. They were absolutely amazing, and they were incredibly popular, so they sold out really fast, which is really unfortunate, but you know, things are generally a while supplies last, so when you see them, you want to snatch them up right away. So it's a lesson in hurry, 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 don't wait when it comes to products that are absolutely amazing. So if you look at it and you say, ooh, I want that, get it while you can. Okay, meanwhile, I happened to have been able to purchase 2 packages with the pre-order. So this is my second package. I've burned through that first package like nobody's business. So I'm trying to be a little more careful with, you know, not getting too crazy with these. But you know what? They're here for us to use. And if we don't use them, then they just go to waste. And there's literally no reason to do that. So hold on, friend. Where are you going? Get back over there. There you go. So we want to use them on our projects and we want to share the love because this is super fun. So, you know, somebody will get this and they'll be like, ooh, it glows in the dark. Now, I don't know if I can... Nope, I can't. There's too much light in the background here, which is great for you to be able to see, but not at all great for you to be able to see that these are glow in the dark. All right, let me move on to the ribbons here. What I'm going to do is I am going to shred them up the middle lengthwise in half, okay? So I'm going to take this one, and we are not at all worried about neat and tidy. We're not at all worried about being particular. We are literally just shredding it up the middle. So we don't care if it's raggedy. In fact, I would venture to say the more raggedy the better since we're talking about Halloween. But we're just shredding it up the middle. Okay. There's that one. And then this one. And it's amazing when you start looking at ribbons this way that you can shred them up the center, you can pull tails and unravel them. You can do all kinds of cool things and you don't ever know what it looks like until you check it out. So I always encourage you to play around with your ribbons a little bit, maybe cut a little section off and just fiddle with it and see what it does, because you could find a super cool happy little accident. So all right, here we go. We're gonna just layer these together. We'll try to get them to layer evenly, at least for the bow tying, but if they don't, whatever, we'll keep moving. We're not gonna fiddle with them too long here. Okay. Alright, there we go. Now I'm just tying a bow into a knot. Let me come a little bit shorter here so I've got plenty of tail. Okay, I want to make my big loop in the center pretty big because I've got 4 tails to push through there and I want to make sure I get them all pushed through. I don't want to leave one behind because then I've got to start the whole bow over again and well, that's no fun. So you can see I'm already kind of struggling to hang on to them, but that's okay. It's worth it in the end. So push through, my friends, push through. Okay, there we go. There, I think we might have them all. We've got them all. Well done, well done. Okay, now then, I've cinched it up a little bit. Let me pull from the center. Anytime you need to tighten down your knots, hold, or tighten down your bows, hold down the knot in the middle and then pull gently from the edges. That way you don't actually untie your bow and it gives you a little more wiggle room to play with your bow. Okay, now then I'm just roughing this bugger up a little bit And it doesn't have to be beautiful and perfect. It can be quirky and unruly. Once again, this is Halloween we're talking about here. Anything is possible and anything looks amazing. So we're just going to give it a little bit of a tug. There we go. That looks nice. Actually, that side looks really good. And I'd like to separate these colors just a little. So I'm going to take these and move these loops over. Okay. Just like that. There we go. Beautiful. Alright, now then, give it another quick little tug to put everything in place. Pull out any of these little loops that don't want to hang out. It's okay. Oh, I'm so glad that you love them, Miss D. They are so much fun. I really enjoy them too. Alright, now we'll take a glue dot because that's what holds our bow on the best. Put it right there in the middle. Attach that bow. Super stinking cute. We can fiddle with it later to make it perfect if we want to, or we can be smart and leave it the heck alone. We'll see how I am and which one I fit into here in a minute. Now then, let me trim my ribbon ends. I'm just going to snatch them all up like that. We are all about making it as easy as possible. Okay, grab this end and just like that. That looks pretty good. I'm going to trim that just a tiny bit shorter to match the other one a little better. There we go. Okay, now then, that is it, and we are done. So I am going to take my little cotton candy package here, and I'm going to tuck it in. Now, I will say something about these packages. When I got them, they were puffed up real big with air. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. It's crazy how that happens with chips and all kinds of things. So here's what I did. I opened up this flap. Now, as you can see, it's tacked down pretty good, so I can't get all the way over here because I came in right about the middle area. It doesn't really matter, but I went underneath that flap and right up next to the seam and just punctured a tiny little hole with my take your pick tool and then squeezed out some of the air, okay? And then I took some multi-purpose liquid glue and went under the edges here and rubbed it in and held it until it dried, so I sealed it back up. Okay? Now the glue won't go into the hole because you're not actually going over where the hole is, you're just sealing right over the top of the plastic, so you're sealing the two pieces together. Alright? And then that helps it not be so puffed up with air because it was easily double this size and it wouldn't fit nicely down in my box without kind of stretching it out a bit. So just let out a tiny little bit of air and then your cotton candy will fit beautifully. So once we get that little tail in there, you can see I can tuck it in and there we go. Listen, friend, I want you to fold that way. We can play with that later to make it fold the way we want it to fold, but there we go. Okay, so now you can see, super cute, absolutely fabulous, lots of fun, tricks or treats. I hope you guys have enjoyed this project. It was a whole lot of fun to make, and if you don't already have this Stampin' Die bundle, get it, please get it. If you're not a Halloween person, man, if you're not a Halloween person, first of all, you know who I'm talking to, Mama. She's not a Halloween person, but these are cute, and these dies are amazing. So, this die especially is spectacular. Now, if you don't know what all these things are for, this is the base of the box, like we had talked about. You need 2 of them for each box. This is what makes that torn paper edge look, okay? And then these are what you can use to put on your die cut pieces to make ribbon holes if you want to loop bows through or handles or whatever. That's what these things are for, okay? Just so that you know. Anyway, if you don't like Halloween, maybe you can give the other stuff to somebody else and keep the bag dies. All right, friends, I hope you guys had a great time. I will see you here again tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. for day 5 of the 13 days of Halloween treats. And until next time, my friends, I hope you have a wonderful night. Bye for now.